today we're joined by Claudio Silva. He's a veteran in the MMA game, fought for the UFC, BAMA, Super Fight League. He's got a lot of MMA credentials, BJJ and whatnot. He's been around the world of combat sports. He joins us for a little talk today. How's everything going today, man?
Well, everything is amazing, man. I'm here in Rio, Rio de Janeiro. I'm in Brazil. I've been spending some time with family, doing my charity here. Unfortunately, Rio, at that time of the year, it's not so sunny, but yeah, what we can do, we cannot have everything in life. So
Yeah,
at least I'm healthy and I'm training and I'm happy.
yeah. I like the mentality. So there's not much sun around this time, October and all that. Does it get cold over there?
Yes, it's a little bit colder. But fortunately, this year I had most of my days was sunny, so I'm happy.
Nice, nice. It's good to hear, man. So how has life been in general? You've been training, you've been staying busy?
Man, right now I went to some doctors. I did some treatment on my teeth. I had to take off my wisdom teeth.
Yeah.
So I was in a lot of pain. Also work on my charity. Well, life is so great, man. I'm living the dream. But the moment now I'm coming back to train. Also, I was spending time with family. I was around, you know. This year was my birthday. Last month was my birthday. I just turned 40s. They
Nice.
say 40s is the new 20s, and that's exactly how I felt. So
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
blessed, man. I just feeling like everything is just feeling blessed.
So is that accurate to say that you feel as good as you felt in a while, right? Obviously, you had some injuries in like 2017 and 2018, right? Do you feel like a lot better now compared to those times?
Excuse me, can you say again,
Yeah,
please? I
yeah,
couldn't hear you.
no problem. So I said that obviously, you had you said you were feeling good, right? So I'd like to ask, obviously you had a couple of injuries in like 2017, 18. Is it safe to say that you're feeling a lot better now compared to 2017 and 18? Like, how do you feel now compared to that time?
Well, I'm feeling great. After my second fight in UFC, I had a surgery that took me 4 years off my career. Just when I defeated Leon Edwards, in Brazil, in my hometown, Uberlândia, Minas Gerais, was UFC Uberlândia. After that, I have a hiatus of 4 years. I haven't, I couldn't fight. I couldn't train in high level. I came back at the end of 2019 and 18, I mean, not at the end, it was March 18, and I beat Taleb in the first round. I was the underdog. I think was 6-1. I was the huge underdog.
Sure.
The guy was such a piece of shit, Dutch bag, arrogant, but I fucked him up the first round.
Yeah.
And then I have some nice victories. And yes, man. Now I'm feeling way more better. Also more experience. Now I know how to train. I'm not training like in the crazy days anymore. And I start to like respect my body, listen to my body. When I start feeling overtrained, I just take some days off. I'm feeling great now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's good to hear that you're
More
feeling great.
smart. As you get older, you gotta be smart. So that's how I feel right now.
That's good to hear, man, that you're feeling great, right? That's the body's the most important thing. So, as I do with most fighters, I want to get your opinion on the last time we saw you in action. Have you seen the fight? What do you think about it as we look behind?
My last fight,
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the last fight?
man, I think I start very well, impose my game. I made
Sure.
some mistake at the middle of second round, got some shots. And then at the third round, I don't even remember what's happened. I was in automatic mode, and I just was fighting, man. I never gave up. I never got knocked out in a fight. I never been submitted.
Never. Yeah.
I'm just keeping fighting, never quit. Uh, ha- uh, Hats off to my opponent. He did what he's supposed to do, and he's a tough guy. And yes, I'm just feeling like I'm just proud to share the cage with my old opponents, and have no hard feelings. What I have to do now, I have to just go back to the gym, see the mistakes I made, and just go through it. I'm the kind of the guy that take responsibility of my results. I'm not a guy that like blames everyone when things doesn't go my way. I'm not gonna say it's my coach's fault, it's my wife's fault, it's the weather, it's the government.
Yeah.
No, man, I take the beat up as a man. Okay, the guy was a better man at the night, and that's it. That's my mentality. Everybody
Yeah.
lose, everybody makes mistake. The only people that doesn't lose the mess is the one that never competes. The only one that doesn't make mistake is somebody that never have done anything in their life. The only time when you're not gonna make mistakes and lose is when you die. So I'm alive and I carry on.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, man. And it seems like I kind of know what your answer is going to be based on what you said. But the last question here about that fight is that you said going into is you thought you said you were going to leave everything in the cage. Do you feel like looking back on it that you left everything in the cage? Because it sounds like you did, right?
Yes, I did my best. I tried to submit the guy, but he was the better man at the night. I have nothing to say. Like, oh yeah, it's just it is what it is. I just have to go back, be humble, and go through my mistakes and become a better version of me next time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So let's move on, right? There was once upon a time where you were on a 5-fight win streak in the UFC, man, right? And as we look ahead, you saying that you feel as good as you felt in a while, right? You're saying that you feel great. Do you envision still like heights like that for you? Do you see yourself going on to another promotion, being able to get back on the horse and winning 5 fights in a row, winning at least a few fights in a row, getting back on track? Is that what you're trying to do? Is that what you think is going to happen?
I was considered to retire. And then sometimes when I train, I'm like, no way, I'm not going to retire. I never been stopped in my career. I was 5-0 in UFC. I was like, I'm still thinking what's next for me. I really want to open a gym in UK, in London, where I'm based on. Also, I really want to work with refugee people that come from like countries that there's wars. I want to make them feel welcome. I want to show them that in life you can be part of something. I want to make that. uh, by the way, for people that doesn't know, when I came to London, I was an illegal immigrant. I had overstayed. I've been applied for asylum, so I've been there, and I want to help those people. So I'm just think what I'm going to do next. But definitely, man, fight is something that I never stop thinking about. I'm so passionate about learning new techniques, um, going to the gym, overcome the bad days. Sometimes you come to the gym, you don't want to train, you get beaten up. And you just go for the challenge. You want to like, okay, let me see, I need to push myself through the limit. But yeah, man, I definitely thinking about to compete. I'm definitely trying to go to PFL or ONE FC. Well, whatever pays better. Maybe bare knuckle fight, why not? Yes, I definitely see myself competing again. Going get another 5 or more winning streaks. I'm not a loser. I'm not a quitter. I just know I'm in a bad phase right now of my career, but phases are made for we go through it. So I know I'm gonna overcome this bad time of my career and go back to the winning streak again.
Yeah, absolutely. And it feels like the philanthropic, and we're gonna get into the philanthropic stuff a little later. I'll ask you a question about that. But it does sound like what you're saying is that you do want to keep fighting, right? You just said that. So that's something that you're interested in, right? You'd be interested in perhaps maybe somewhere else, another promotion. Does it really matter where it is for you though? Are you picking and choosing, or you just want to get in there and fight no matter where it is? Like what kind of mentality do you have right now?
Man, my mentality is the same as I always have, train as much as I can, never underestimate any opponent, keep learning, keep my white belt mentality. If I see something that I don't know, I want to learn, I want to know new stuff, I want to learn new techniques, always keep getting better 1% every day. That's my mentality. That's how I always prepare myself. And if I'm fighting any soon, I want to prepare as much as I can. I want to make sure I'm trained well, I'm prepared, because the worst thing in life, like lose a fight, is terrible. It is, but at least you've been doing the best, you train a lot, but it must be much terrible when you lose and you didn't train well, you didn't prepare yourself. Yeah, that's my mentality, brother.
As far as like where you will go next, right? Is there like a specific place you want to go? Like, are you trying to, see it out, wait it out? What's your mentality right now? Are you just trying to get back in there with whoever it is and fight? Like, do you want to fight very soon?
At the moment, I don't want to fight. I supposed to fight in December, but as I have
December.
this
Okay.
treatment on my dentist told me, listen, you I have to take off 4 teeth, so just take your time, don't get any impact at your face anymore, please, don't get punched right now. So yes, definitely next year. I'm looking forward to fight next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And this December fight, where do you know where are you allowed to say where it was going to be with?
Supposed to be Cage Warriors, and was in negotiation, but I'm looking to fight in a big league. Yes, Cage Warriors is a great league, but
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to fight a PFL or ONE FC or bare knuckle.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think I think I had a good run in UFC. Tell me who, like, tell me someone that did 5-0 in UFC.
Not many.
Like, if 5-0 in UFC it's not anything.
No.
What else I can do better?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. And think
Because
about it.
right now
You also
we have
beat the
so
champion
hate.
too.
How right now we have so much haters. So much people, like, all these keyboard warriors, man. They just try to let us down. They write like, who is this guy? This guy's nobody, blah blah blah. Okay,
Yeah.
but who did 5-0 in UFC, man? If 5-0 in UFC is not it's nothing. Wow.
No, absolutely.
I don't.
And not just that, but you also I was saying that you also defeated the current champion now, Leon Edwards. So I think you should have some respect put on your name, right?
Yes, man. I'm very happy for him to become a champion. He's a great guy. He's a hard work guy as well. People ask me, how do you feel to see Leon Edwards as a champion? I say, listen, man, I'm so happy for him. And I'm happy when people around me is having success. I think the worst thing in the world is a man that hates another man's success. So I wish him all the best. I hope he wins more fights as a champion. And yeah, it was a great fight. And yeah, as you say, even in Brazil, people don't even talk about it much. The media, the MMA media, the MMA channels, they don't talk about. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm old, I'm too old, I'm too ugly. I don't know if I'm not paid the right people to talk about it. Maybe I have to bribe someone, in Brazil. And yes, but it is what it is, man. I'm very happy for the guy. He's a guy that always keeps training, evolve, and he deserves all the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And I gotta ask, like, do you see similarities or is it like a different fighter from the one that you were in the octagon with? And does it surprise you that that guy you beat went on to go do what he's doing? Does it surprise you at all?
Not really, no. And not really, because I had 4 years out of competition and he was training and competing high level. And that's the result he deserves, and he is another fighter. He won. Everybody say he won the fight against Kamaru Usman at the last few minutes. It
Sure.
doesn't matter. It only ends when the referee jump on you.
For
So,
sure. Yeah.
wow, massive respect for him. Hats off. But he is the different. He is another fighter. definitely in this year he evolved, and he's evolved so much, you know. And yes, definitely he's the champion, and nobody can take it from him.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I like how you pay, respect where respect is due. And, for people to say that it was lucky or whatever, that's ridiculous. It was, you kicked him and
It's not luck.
yeah.
I believe in luck, you know. As much as you train, you're gonna get luck. But he threw the kick, the guy made a mistake, and that's what the fight is, you know. And I see all his friends, you know, you see guys like Daniel Cormier, all this Islam, this guy say, the next time he's gonna get killed. Why the guy didn't kill him in that fight, you know? Why? Like I
Oh yeah,
see
you did.
people, it's so much like people try to let him down, you know. And as I see in UFC, if you have a guy, a friend that's a champion or a current or like a retired champion, if they talking about you, you get so hyped, a lot of hype, you know. And yes, man, you know, I see him as a champion. He is the champion, and I bet he's gonna beat him again. If Leon fight against Kamaru Usman, he will beat him again, you know. And he says before, you know, once the passion of Kamaru Usman will fuck him up. He loves the strike so much, and he will get knockout. That's what he says before the fight, and that's what he did. He just knocked the guy out. So nobody can take the credit from him, you know. And in UFC right now, that's what I see the most. All the guy that is an ex champion and a commentator, he just like, as much as you win, people don't care. They don't give a fuck. They always have excuse to let you down, you know, to depreciate what you did. And nobody can take it from Leon Edwards. He's the champion. He's the world champion, you know, and people have to shut the fuck up and respect him. Because I do respect him, you know, as a person, not only as a fighter, but as a guy, as a person as well. The guy he always was nice to me. He was with his people. He always say hello, shake hands, you know, and it is what it is, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't even want to ask you about this to follow up, but might as well now. Do you think it's smart for like the UFC to have a guy like Daniel Cormier commentating like an Islam Makhachev fight? Do you think it's smart to put him on a commentary team like that?
It's definitely not smart, you know. I think Daniel Cormier, he always try to make things better for his friends, and sometimes he doesn't give the credit that other fights deserve, you know. It's definitely, man, if you see like the way he laughs from all the fighters when Islam says that Charles couldn't speak English, the way he laughs, you know, the way of the respect, you understand. And this guy, man, Americans think they can do anything, but he needs to respect people as a man and as a fighter, you know. So when he was crying because John Jones fucked him up, everybody was take a piece of him. And then he was the humble guy, the best guy of the world. And now that he has he's standing in a position that he must show respect, he disrespects people, you know. That's how I feel. That's how I see him, you know.
Yeah, and speaking of all that, man, it makes me think because like a lot of Brazilian fighters, you guys for the most part are very respectful. Like I don't really know any Brazilian fighter that like talks trash and all that, which kind of leads me to something that I wanted to ask you, right? Is do you feel like you're kind of in the wrong era of MMA in the sense because you just said before, like, I don't know why, is it because I'm ugly? Obviously you're not, but like you kind of wonder, what it is to get views, to get fights and all that. But is it because maybe that's not what you like to do? You don't like to talk trash. And we live in a time now where unfortunately they're gonna pick the guy that talks trash, that gets Instagram followed. You know what I mean?
Yes, I definitely understand you. Let me tell you something. I've been trying to trash talk people when I was 5-0 UFC, and people just ignore me. Ignore me. Even the Brazilian crowd, they go against me. You know, because they have this humble mentality. But if you try to come up and speak off, people not gonna give you any credibility. You know, especially UFC that they love Americans and British and Europeans. As a Brazilian, that's how I feel. You know, I was 5-0, and I didn't come even close to the top 15. You know, and I was 4 years without any competition. I came back, submit everybody at the division. If I was American or British, man, I would be the hero right now. for what I did, but they don't give me any credibility. So I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to be crying. Please pay attention to me, you know. I'm a businessman as well. I love to fight, but I have business aside. But this is a little bit weird, you know, man. That today I was talking with a friend about it. You have this guy, the guy that Rafael Capoeira, man. The guy knocks everybody out. The guy was put on a show, and nobody talks about him. Why this guy is not on the ranking, you know?
Right.
Definitely, man. Definitely, you know. They have like they have some. They protect a lot some fighters. They love to promote some fighters, and they ignore others, you know, older fighters. I don't think my English is not that bad. I think I can communicate in English, and I don't know, man. It just feels weird, you know. Some people they love, some people they don't even care, you know. They don't even think that exists. But the trash talk is something really weird because Brazilians, they look very dumb. People don't think they are crazy, but they are very crazy. I see a lot of UFC fighters talk about being a gangster, you know. Being a gangster in Brazil is the same if you call yourself as a terrorist. If you say like I'm a gangster in Brazil, it's the same thing as you say in Europe or America, I'm a terrorist. You know, that's how heavy that word means in Brazil, gangster. And I see a lot of gangster from Netflix. Look, this guy, what's his name? The guy that got punched in the face. That guy that talks all the time, him and Roger Masvidal had a fight outside of the street. Colby Covington, you know, he say he's a gangster, he's that, but the guy cannot protect himself on the street. I've seen many times at America Top Team when the Dagestani guys came after him, he almost cried, you know. And after that, he's gonna say, "Who is that guy? Who is this guy?" You know, and people, I don't know, man. It's like trash talk is something very dangerous because you never know who you fuck with. Sometimes you talk with a humble guy, he's a real killer, you know, he's a psychopath. He can come to your house just like shop you in peace in front of your family and give the piece of your body to you eat yourself, you know. Like people, they have to understand what the word gangster means, you know. It's the same as a terrorist, because a gangster in Brazil, he would do everything. He's gonna burn your house with your family inside, you know. And when I see these guys, they call themselves gangsters. They are Netflix gangsters, you know. And then when they get punched in the face, they run away to the cops. A gangster would never do it, you know. It's so embarrassing. Like for a Brazilian, if you have a fight on the street, if you go to the police, wow, it's better to die, you know, man. It's like, I don't know. It's something very crazy. I'm this, I'm that. And when shit gets crazy, they run away to the cops, to the police station.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing that a lot of people respect from the, you know, the true fans and the true people that respect the sport, they like you for how you fight, right? And the people that like the great Brazilian fighters like you and many others, because we like the way you fight. You know, we don't like anything you say outside. We don't have to care about trash talk or any of that. That doesn't mean anything to me. And one thing I was going to ask you, right, is you sort of mentioned that a little bit. You just sort of dipped your toes into that water a little bit of the, you know, the not the gangster necessarily, but that lifestyle, right? And you've obviously had some, you know, some past troubles, but you said MMA has come to save you almost in a way, right? Like it's helped your life out a lot. I don't know if you've ever been asked this before, but I'm curious to see what your answer would be of where do you think you'd be now if you weren't competing in combat sports? Like, do you think your life would have gone a completely different path than how it is now?
Absolutely, man. I lost a lot of friends, you know. Most of my friends, they are now in jail forever, or they're under the earth, or they're dead. And well, if it wasn't for MMA, I would be dead right now.
Wow,
For sure.
That's insane.
Dead, you know.
Yeah, I think it's very inspiring though to some people that, you know, you get into something like a sport or something you love and it could sort of change your life, right?
When people say gangsters, you know, outside of Brazil, they do some robberies without guns. In Brazil, gangsters, when they are 16, they are killing people, they get shot, you know. They are doing like terrible things. So when I was 16, I got shot twice. They shot me twice, you know, and I survived.
Wow.
And many crazy things. So definitely MMA and martial arts was something that saved my life. And that's something that I would like to give back to the community, you know. I'm looking forward to do my my charts in Brazil that I would teach kids, for free. MMA, BJJ. I'm working on it right now. And as I said before, I would love to teach like foreigners, refugees in London in the near future, to take them out of the gang violence, the gang this gang culture, man. There is no need to be a gangster in Europe, man. People wear Nike and Adidas. They have food. The government afford for the rent. There is no need to play as a gangster, man. They watch too much Netflix.
Yeah, and absolutely, man. I think that's another something you don't want to mess around with. And I think a lot of final question here too, and I thank you for the time, man. I see that a lot of your philanthropic work, right? The stuff you do to help out the community and all that. I was going to ask you about that, but I feel like it's a good segue based on the last answer you just gave me. Is that why you do a lot of the work that you do, because of your past, because of the troubles you had? Is it a way to sort of, help? I don't know how to phrase this. Is it a way to just sort of give back for maybe what you've done, I guess?
Well, I come from a family that are very religious, and they used to do that. My mom and my father, they used to help a lot of people. They don't have much, when I was growing up, I never in my life starved, only when I grew up and I left my house, I had some difficulties, I had some tough times, but see somebody have nothing to eat, that's the most aggressive thing that you can see. That's the most violent thing that I experienced in my life. Last year was in Rio, and I was like down something, and I was watching kids, teenagers, elders try to get food from the bin, from the trash, and that was something that really touched my heart, And I was like, I have to do something. We're in the middle of the pandemic. People, they don't have jobs. So I was like, what I'm gonna do, what I can do. So I wrote something on my social media, and then I started like get donations from friends, fans, Also, I had a sponsor that helped me a lot. My ex sponsors, they helped me so much, and we're able to get 400 food baskets. So when I was the
Wow.
favela, I knocked doors, and all the elders, the old ladies, old men, they came to me, they said, listen, I was praying for God to send food to my house, and you just arrived. And please get inside my house, have a look on my pans, watch my kitchen. They show me that they don't have any food, And
Wow.
sometimes I came to homes, there's like 5 kids, um, just a single mother with 5 kids, like a 70 years old man with no job, no money, no family. It was something very crazy. Also, I came to Rio de Janeiro. I went to a place, a crazy place, man. Was the biggest, like, I don't know how to say English, but do you know where you throw all the bins? All the trash. Was a
Like a garbage
was a
dump or
biggest
whatever?
landfill for.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
exactly what it is. And I saw kids, man. I've seen kids, that there's no toilet at their home. They don't have water. They don't even have water. They get water from the rain. And I was like, man, I, I always hate politicians, in my whole life. And I was like, man, how come this has happened because of politicians? They took all the money. And I was like, how dare somebody can rob these people, man? Look at them. They have nothing. They have absolutely nothing. Nothing to eat, nothing to drink, nothing at home. They're just suffering, And I came there, I was helping those families. And yes, man, I felt much better as a human being. You can see the smile. You put a smile on a kid's face, in a single mom's face, some elders. And I've been doing this, for more than 5 years right now. But last year was something massive. 400 food baskets is a lot, you know. And I've seen people that has much more followers, and they don't use the social media to do any good to the community, So it's something weird, man. Sometimes I see guys that they don't have much, and they are the ones that donate the most. Sometimes you see people that pretend to have money, they take like fucking pictures in a fancy car, restaurant, and they don't even try to donate, and they talk about donation. I don't really pay attention to it. I just want to help the people in need, the people that I suffer from poverty, people that I suffer from starvation, and that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm focused all the time. Every time I'm doing every year I see different things. I meet great people. This year I was in my hometown. I did some motivational quotes.
Wow.
Some big companies in my city, they pay me. They told me, hey, would you come here and give us some is that right?
Yeah, motivation. Yeah.
Yeah, motivational speech. I was, listen, man, I'm not a guy, I'm not a professional. They, no, just tell your history. You want to hear that? I'm like, okay. I came there, and then I got a manager from a football team. He came to me. He said, listen, man, I want that you give this speech to the girls and the little boys and the teenagers of our team. And then I did it. So obviously I did it because I want to buy food, for those families in bad situation. And then, man, from nowhere, I just discover, I can speak with people, I can communicate it, I can communicate with people, I can give them some hope. And it was crazy because that football team in my hometown, the girls team, they are just the first official girl team, the women's team in the history of the city. And it was on Friday. On Saturday they played and they won. And of course they didn't won. They didn't win because of me, but they came. The girls, the guys, they came to me. They said, "Listen, what you told us gave us a lot of confidence. We truly believe in your words." And I was shocked. I was like, "Wow, how come I can just speak and people listen to me?" And I'm not a professional, as I said before, but I'm a guy that went through a lot of bad things and good things in life. And I'm not a guy that made some course, read a book, and talk about conquer things in life, go through bad time and good times. I'm a guy that's been there. So I'm speak with my heart, and yes, man, I'm feeling very blessed. I'm feeling blessed every day. After what I see and what I've seen, I cannot even complain my whole life. After last year, what I've seen, I'm like, man, I have no right to complain. If I'm tired, I'm never gonna complain. If I have any pain, unless if it's surgery, I'm not gonna complain. That's my mentality right now.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Absolutely. And it's funny because there's a saying here in America where they say that money and like a platform, fame, it doesn't change you. It only makes you more of what you are. So if you get one, if you're something and then you get a lot of money, it's only going to make you more of what you are. It's not going to change you. You seem to be like a good person because you got money, but I'm not counting your pocket, but I'm saying you've made some money, you've been on this platform, but you're using it to help people. You're not using it like other people say to post pictures and cars and all that. So I think that's very admirable.
Man, thanks so much. And that's the biggest accomplishment that I got in my whole life. I think more important than to win a title in UFC, any big show, is to be a nice human being, is to listen what you say to me, because my friends, they came to me and that's what they say, you didn't change. You're the same guy when you were 14 years old. And this is the biggest accomplishment. That's what I want to do. Make my family happy, proud of me, help others, give back to the community, and I don't care about, I have 1 million followers. I don't care. I just have 22,000, but they are real ones. They are the ones that support me, and they like everything I tell them, they believe. And I make sure I show everything, all the donations that came. I go to the market, I buy the food, I keep the tickets, so I show them. And yes, man, that's what I need. I don't need anything else. I'm not a guy that look for fame or whatever. I love to walk on the streets, see people, talk to people. Fame is nothing for me, bro. I'm just happy how I am and what I've been accomplished in life.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that about wraps it up. Claudio Silva, ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to seeing what lies ahead in your future. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for opening up. It was an interesting conversation, and we'd love to have you back again in the future. Best of luck.
Thank you. And if you guys would like to make any donation, just get in touch with me on my Instagram, Claudio Hannibal Silva. I've been helping a lot of institutions in Brazil that they don't have any money. They help people they make like food every day. So if you guys are interested, just get in touch with me. Thank you guys for having me. It's been a pleasure.